Right, a text. Salam, Hajj Hayder, how are you? Long time no see. Can you please pick me up? I need to go to Imam Hussein TV to record a track. I'm telling you guys, these mullahs, they only ever message when they need something. Right, let's pick him up and inshallah you'll meet our guest for today very, very soon. Rashid Haider, long time no see, Habibi.
Long time.
How you doing?
Good. How you been?
Thank you so much for joining us. Today I'm your personal Uber, dropping you to the channel to record your track.
The honour is mine.
Yeah, this is Behind the Wheel.
Behind the Wheel.
Behind the Wheel. It's a new
name.
program on IHTV. Thank you. I didn't choose it. So you ready to go for it?
Yeah, done. Let's do it.
Ya Allah.
Let's do it.
go.
Ya Allah.
Bismillah.
Ya Allah.
Mullah Rashid,
Yes, bro.
first of all,
Yeah.
massive thank you for joining us.
No, the honour's mine. The honour's mine.
I'm gonna embarrass myself by saying the people that don't know who you are, because mashallah alaik,
Nah, stop.
I know a lot of the viewers are massive fan of Mullah Rashid, of course. But I'd love to just start a little bit about you, your formative years, your younger years. I think as adults,
Yeah.
were often developed based on the childhood that we had.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you, yourself, your background, growing up.
Yeah, so for those that might not know me, my name's Rashid Haider. I'm 21 years old. I'm currently a third year uni student.
MashaAllah.
So yeah, I had a pretty normal childhood. Grew up at home.
Right.
I have two sisters. Got mum and dad.
Yeah.
And in terms of
You grew up in London, by the way?
yeah, I grew up in London.
Born here?
Born in London. I was actually born in
Yeah.
Park Royal.
In Park Royal?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about that later, because you deceived Northwest London and you moved to the horror of East. But
It's not that bad.
I'm joking. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later. Okay, so yeah, grew up
Yeah, grew up
Park Royal. You were
in
born?
Park Royal,
Yeah.
and then after a few years, when it came to my dad wanting to establish MCE.
Yeah.
Um,
Muslim community of
Essex.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, so when it came to him establishing MCE,
Yeah.
and then obviously he wanted to have his own madrasa and whatnot,
Yeah.
we moved to East.
Okay.
We moved to East, and we've basically been there for till now, literally.
MashaAllah. Tell me about some of your childhood memories. So you got sisters.
Yeah.
Which is always, as a brother, always fun growing up.
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
get to bully them and be
Yeah.
naughty and stuff like that. But tell me, what are the childhood memories that really stick with you growing up?
We've always been pretty close as the trio that we are. I'm the middle child, so a lot of the times, if it's not me bullying my young sister, I'm bullying my older sister, and then I'm getting in trouble for it. But yeah, we've always been pretty close. We've always done things together, and it's been nice. We'd go out together, and even though, like, for example, my older sister is considerably older than me, my younger sister's only 2 years younger than me. It's like there's a bit of a gap, but we've all kind of just molded and been together.
MashaAllah. And obviously you mentioned mum and dad, so
Yeah.
for those that don't know, MashaAllah, your father is Sheikh Ayub,
Yeah.
Rashid, right?
Yeah.
Sheikh Ayub Rashid. So obviously the Sheikh, we know growing up,
Yeah.
we've had the honour of sitting underneath the mimbars that he's sat on and
Yeah.
gaining from his wisdom. I've always wondered, and I asked one of our other guests this as well,
Yeah.
what is it like growing up with a Sheikh as a dad? Because
Yeah.
a sheikh, when you see a Sheikh,
Yeah.
there's so much you learn, and the way you have to act maybe might be a bit different. What's it like growing up with a dad as a Sheikh?
So growing up with a sheikh it's quite interesting, because a lot of the time people have very high expectations of you. So, like, for example, they'll ask you certain questions that you might not have the answer to.
Religious questions.
Yeah, something like that. But it's like, oh, your dad's a sheikh, so you must know. And I remember my dad would always tell me stuff like that. He's like, you know, you're the son of a sheikh, you gotta be a bit knowledgeable, because you're gonna get these kind of questions, and I've seen it and I've been through it.
Right.
That's
That's interesting.
Again, it's like a thing where you grow up in that environment of, you know, programs and service of Imam Hussein, because before maybe I was reciting, I was always tagging along with him, going to programs.
Right.
Whenever he had a lecture, I'd go.
What age are we talking about? What age?
So literally from young, since I've been like able to walk.
Wow.
I've been going around with him, and like a lot of people that would see me often would be like, it came to a point where if they don't see me, it's like, where's Rashid kind of thing.
Right.
So it's really nice. Yeah,
amazing.
alhamdulillah. Like, I grew up in that
So
environment.
that's one of the benefits of having are there any downfalls of having a Sheikh as a dad?
No, I wouldn't say any downfalls. Nah, it's
I'll put you on the spot here, man.
No,
just in case the Sheikh is watching.
Yeah, if he
I
watches.
didn't mean it in an offensive way, Sheikh.
no downfalls. It's all good. All good. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so you mentioned obviously, you know, before you got into reciting. So when was the type of, like, I guess the age where you went into the world of recitation, Rashid?
So from about 7-8 years old,
Wow, that young.
yeah, I dibbled and dabbled in it for a bit, but like 7-8 is kind of what. So basically, with the madrasa that my dad has, every year you've seen we do Mawlid programs.
Yep.
So within those Mawlid programs, normally the tradition is if you have a madrasa, you guys would host a Mawlid,
Nice.
and then you'd have students from the Mawlid recite.
Beautiful.
So dad obviously would do lectures. Anyone that can recite would recite. And so it came to a thing where my dad at one point he was like, look, we have these programs, why don't you read, kind of thing.
Read in
he was
terms
sticking
of
it on me.
Mawalid or
Yeah.
recite Quran?
Both.
Okay, what did you start with? Quran or?
But I started with Quran.
Okay.
Started with Quran. That was just general in the madrasa, and then later on.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Did when you started reciting Quran?
Yeah.
Did you first start reciting in terms of correct recitation with ahkam, or did you go straight into the Taj? Because mashallah, for those who haven't heard, in fact we'll get you to recite in a second, but for those that haven't heard, you're a beautiful reciter of the Holy Quran, not just in terms of ahkam and the tartil of the Quran and the necessary grammar and pronunciation, but actually in terms of tajweed as well.
Yeah.
So is that something you were taught straight away?
Yeah, so with us, and like especially within my culture, being from East Africa, Quran is pushed massively. So normally when you start in a madrasa, Quran is like one of the biggest things
Wow.
that you learn. And when you start learning, you always start learning kind of the rules of tajweed, how to recite Quran properly,
Right.
the right the rulings and so on.
Ahkam, yeah.
Ahkam and so on. So you'd start like that first, and then once obviously you have that down, then it's like, okay, if you have it in you, then we'll start trying to teach you how to recite properly.
Nice.
So that's
interesting that you mentioned of being from East Africa, because when we talked about yourself and your background, you hadn't mentioned that.
Yeah.
So do you want to just tell us first of all a little bit about where are you from in East Africa? For those that don't, obviously I know, we're friends, but apart from that, like, where are you from in East Africa?
Yeah, so I'm half Kenyan, half Tanzanian.
Mashallah.
Dad is from Tanzania, and mum is from Kenya.
MashaAllah.
And yeah, so alhamdulillah, it's been good growing up. For those that might not know, I grew up as Shia, but dad and mum weren't Shia.
No way, I didn't know that.
Oh, you don't know?
No
way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, dad and mum weren't Shia.
SubhanAllah.
And alhamdulillah,
What a blessing.
through their journey, and especially through Imam Hussein, is how they found, that's how they became a Shia. So.
Can you give us like a 20-second, I know that's pushing it, but a 20-second breakdown as to how your dad came across the Shia path?
Yeah, so dad obviously he was studying a lot back in the day, and he had a teacher that was Sunni, and this teacher was always against like Shias, and would always say stuff about Shias and say, you don't want to be a Shia, Shias do this, they do that. So my dad he's someone that loves reading and loves like knowledge.
So his quest for knowledge.
Yeah, even though he's a Sunni, he's like, I want to find out about Shias. I want to find out if what they say is really true.
Wow.
So what happened? He went and found out and realized that it's not actually the truth.
Opposite way around.
That was it, man. And it was actually in Muharram as well.
Amazing.
So he looked at the story of Imam Hussein, what exactly happened, and that really just, alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah. Anyway, we digress, but we were talking about East Africa.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's more of an emphasis on Quran recitation in East African communities rather than, for example, probably Iraqi, right?
Do
you think so?
I mean, it's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I don't know. What do you think?
I would probably say I would probably say that the Iraqis don't, especially from a young age, we learn about the Quran, but I feel like we could do more in terms of ahkam. And then you look at the Sunni population, they have a really strong emphasis on the Quran, right? Mainly because obviously they have the lack of a hadith and the lack of a du'as as well. But yeah, there's a really strong emphasis on Quran recitation, on tajweed, on ahkam. So yeah, I would probably say so. Yeah,
no, so Quran is very big for us, and obviously, like I said earlier, when you start in a madrasa, Quran is probably one of the biggest focuses. You have to be able to recite Quran properly.
Wow.
That's the aim.
Okay, so speaking of reciting Quran properly, what we want to do is maybe just get a bit of proper tajweed.
Okay.
Do you have any inspirations, by the way, behind Quran recitation? Is there anyone that you hear that you think, wow, like...
So there's one of my teachers, actually, both of my teachers. One of them, he's called Ustad Mubarak,
MashaAllah.
and the other one is called Ustad Masood.
Right.
They're both
Shout out to Ustad Mubarak and Ustad.
they're both international, world-renowned reciters.
MashaAllah.
And alhamdulillah, like just being able to sit in a majlis and listen to them recite Quran, they always pushed me to be like, why can't I try and be like them? Why can't I try and emulate that?
Nice.
So they were probably a very big inspiration as well. Of course, you have your Abdul Basit, you have your Mahmoud Shahat, and so many different reciters. Yeah, bismillah. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون
ما شاء الله.
كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. What a beautiful voice, mashallah. Amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Zain, okay, so recitation, you got into it.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been since the age of 7? Mashallah.
Yeah.
You're now how old? 21?
I'm 21.
So you've been reciting for you've been reciting for more of your life than you have not been reciting.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, basically.
And now you're balancing, as you mentioned earlier, studying alongside full-time recitation in terms of, like, for example, in munasabat, like Muharram and Shahr Ramadan.
Yeah.
I know you've been at Haraka a few times.
Yeah. Shout out to Haraka.
Come on, Haraka.
Have to do it.
Haraka. And obviously you've recited all over the world, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
So what is it like studying and trying to balance recitation at the same time? I mean, especially like during Muharram, it must be difficult.
Yeah, so like alhamdulillah, like for example this year I was off uni during Muharram, so that meant that I was able to kind of be able to focus entirely on Muharram and not think about anything else.
Nice.
But normally, like throughout the year when I'm studying, it is a bit hard, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it must be.
It is, yeah.
What have you found is like the best way to navigate around that?
I think probably just trying to balance your time, really. Like for example, if I get a call today and I know that I'm reciting in 2 weeks, slowly I'll start preparing for the event, speaking to poets, trying to find things to recite. But yeah, I think the main thing is just balance, man, because if you don't balance it, then you're not going to perform well, for example, in a recitation, in a program, then you're going to be behind on uni work. It doesn't work hand in hand. You know what I mean?
But in terms of Mawalid, we asked pre-interview, what is your favourite Mawlid?
Okay.
And you sent us full-on Iraqi Mawlid. Do you know the lyrics? A little bit?
A little bit.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, this guy, I'm not clue. You know what I do know? The last like 5 seconds.
For the benefit of the brothers and sisters at home, Mullah Rashid is just making humming noises at the moment. This is his favourite Mawlid, by the way. No, I'm joking. I think you might know this bit.
So it's solid.
The Ali,
Can't get that wrong.
Ali bit, you nailed it, basically. Okay, so you've done loads of mawlids, you've done
Yeah.
loads of latmiyat as well. I mean, do you have like a preference? I've always wanted to know for a mullah that's going to recite. Does a mullah prefer a happy occasion? Does a mullah prefer a sad occasion? Is it the same? Is it different?
I mean, I don't know if I have a preference,
Yeah.
but they are both very different in terms of, for example, preparing. So,
As in mindset, or literally we're talking about the basics like poetry, or what are we talking about? As in, do you need to get into a zone?
no,
in
yeah.
Muharram? Do you need to feel a certain way before
definitely.
you recite?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I think Muharram, especially this year, definitely I felt that zone kind of thing. Because what I do...
More than you normally do.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. This year did really like
Hit hard.
hit hard, yeah. It was like and for me, when I'm normally preparing, so like for example, let's say Muharram, that time before I'm about to recite is critical. So like normally I'd be asked to be left alone in a room, just recite, just practice, get into the zone.
Right.
Because I feel like if your head is not there, then it's very hard for you to be able to properly do what you want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if my head is thinking, oh, what am I gonna do tomorrow? What am I doing next week? What am I eating after the majlis? It comes to a thing where it's like, oh, am I really giving this my all? Like, do I really, you know what I mean? It doesn't really.
Okay, so I guess that potentially could be a bit of a challenge. What other challenges did you face or have you faced as a reciter? Or do you face as a reciter? Past, present, future, do you think?
I think always trying to be innovative and come up with new things.
Okay.
That's always one. Sometimes it's like you've done something for such a long time, and then someone comes and tells you after, we're tired of this, want to hear something different.
Really? Have people done that?
That's
not necessarily in a bad way, right?
Yeah,
You've got,
yeah.
like a friend that would say that to you. That's not like...
yeah, like
The
sometimes you
feedback
get sometimes you get that feedback like, I think this style would probably be better for you. Or you'll do something and you'll come off the minbar and someone will just come to you and say, I didn't like that today.
Right.
Or an organizer will be like, yeah, that one, it didn't really work with us.
Wow.
So then now you'll think the worst thing, like for me, and this is something that affects me a lot, whenever I've had a recitation and it hasn't gone to plan,
Okay.
it really bugs me.
We're gonna bring that up later, actually, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, challenges.
Yeah.
Have you faced any challenges? Because I don't know many mullahs from East Africa that recite in Arabic centers.
Okay, yeah.
And I think, in fact, I would probably go out there and say that you are the only African reciter that I've seen, especially in Europe, recite an Arabic latmiya, for example.
Yeah.
And in an Iraqi tor or melody.
Yeah.
And Iraqi words, so the cha and the ga.
Yeah.
Has that been a challenge for you?
Yeah, it's been a massive challenge. I think just trying to perfect that has been very hard. So, like for example, going back to Quran, obviously Quran is all Fusha.
Yes.
And and your standard Arabic.
It's the 28 letters in the Arabic language.
Yeah. So when you come to the Iraqi Arabic, and there's
just
chas
sounds.
and gas,
It's just sounds.
Yeah, there'll be certain letters where I'll look at and I'm like, you say it like this, and then a guy will tell me, no, you say it like this. But me in my head, I've always known it to be like that.
Okay.
So that is a very, very big challenge when it comes to making sure that you're not pronouncing things wrongly, because then if you do, you're then changing the meaning. You're then changing the meaning.
It's a
Then you have ammos coming up to you after saying, "Why did you say this instead of that?" And it just was a long day.
Right. Have you always felt welcome as an African in the Iraqi community, or non-Iraqi, like non-African community?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, some communities are very, very welcoming, very open arms, and then you go to certain places where you'll get stares the whole time. You'll see people talking about you, looking at you, whispering, look at him, what's this guy doing?
Really?
Yeah, wallah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happened a lot. And it's a thing where it's like, even though now like it might have died down because maybe now people are starting to kind of know who I am.
Yes.
Or they know who my dad is.
Yeah.
But it's like, it shouldn't be like that.
No.
It should be, someone comes to the center, you respect everyone.
You respect everyone, and especially if they're providing such a beautiful khidmah for Imam Hussein, because like Khadim al-Hussein has a level of respect above
Yeah. I remember once
the
I read...
average Joe, right?
Yeah. I remember I went to recite in a center once, and imagine, listen to this, a guy, before that, so he didn't know I was reciting.
Right.
He was just attended. He's like to me, what's your name? I told him, Rashid, where you from? Tanzania. He's then like to me, Shia?
Wow.
I was like, no way.
You're reciting?
I am reciting.
Fantastic.
I'm like, no way. So anyway,
I apologize on behalf of Iraqis.
So anyway, I didn't say anything. I just answered his questions.
Yeah.
And then he's like to me, you know the 12 Imams? So that's why I kind of started to like get a bit annoyed, because it's like, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, there's a certain level that you don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting, when we were in Iraq, the Iraqi population found you fascinating when we were walking together in Mashaya.
Yeah.
So I've had the absolute honour of walking. And Mullah Rashid is a powerhouse in Mashaya, by the way. Machine, yeah. We made it, alhamdulillah, all the way with the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah.
And yeah, I mean, like you were being stopped left, right, and centre, and everyone that would speak to you would ask you where you're from, and I'd straight away say, this guy's a mullah, he can read Arabic, he can read Iraqi, and you probably read about 72
literally
in about
I remember you guys once
minutes.
you guys it just came to a point where you guys left me.
Yeah 100%.
You guys just left me. It was like, this guy reading, let's just leave this guy alone.
Fantastic.
It's such a setup. They would make me read and then they would walk off.
Brilliant.
طول السنة انتظرك يمتى يجي شهرك حق امك الزهرة شاغلني بس امرك غيرك فلا اهتم كل فكر بمحرم تانا اهجر دياري وحيا ابو صب مأتم عفيت ارضي وسماء وجيت بهالرجاء اخذني للعزاء وخلي خادم اخذني للعزاء وخلني حسين
يا حسين ما شاء الله mullah. Your solo was as good as the live.
No, stuff.
MashaAllah. Why is that one in particular your favourite out of interest?
This one, the words. There's something about the words.
Yeah.
About service of Imam Hussein.
Yeah.
About, doing what you're doing for Imam Hussein, never forgetting
the
him.
original, the first love.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like, when you deep the words, and then you listen to it as well, it's one of them ones where it really hits home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Recitations, we know already, is a massive part of your life.
Yeah.
As well as the Shia Voice.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Shia Voice, you've done a few auditions there as well.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the things I wanted to ask you earlier, which I didn't, you mashallah have the ability to recite in Arabic.
Yeah.
I've had the honour of writing English, and I know that many other brothers, Sayyid Nayar, brother Nouri as well, you recited some of their poetry.
Yeah.
You've also recited in Swahili. And you've also recited in German? No, you haven't.
No,
you recited, I'm joking. You recited in Urdu, I know as well.
Yeah.
Do you understand and know what you're saying in all of the languages?
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
So normally before it's not like I know the languages.
Yeah.
But obviously before I'd go up and I'd read something, or even when it comes to just picking something to read, I'd always look at the lyrics first, see what they're saying.
Very
and
nice.
then pick it.
And do you remember the other languages? Obviously, English I know is like it's partly like mother tongue, I would say, alongside Swahili.
Yeah, Swahili I know. Yeah.
And then Arabic, I know that you understand. But when you recite poetry in Arabic, do you then remember those words as well later? Could you just read the Arabic qasida or Urdu qasida or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to test you on that one. So this is an Urdu recitation.
Okay.
From the Shia Voice.
Okay.
Which is our next topic, and I'm going to stop, and you have to finish the poetry that you're reading. I don't actually know if this is a naha or a manaqbat. Is that a word?
Manqabat.
That's close.
Manaqbat.
But that's close. That's close.
It's not
For me,
bad. It's not
for
bad.
those that know me, that was very good. I'm very proud of that. Zain, let's start. Bismillah.
Haider Nare लगाते हैदर नारे जो चेहरे मुस्कुराते हैं
माशाल्लाह
Yeah, it's going off.
You didn't do the Nara Haider. So this is definitely not a Noha.
No, this is a happy one.
This is a happy one.
Yeah.
This is a Maulid. Okay, so I obviously don't speak Urdu, brothers and sisters, so apologies, but I could hear from the noises in the background, the Geos and the Mashallahs and the Ali Maulas. God bless our Urdu brothers, they smash it.
Yeah.
So you know, you can hear the judges, especially Sayyid Maysam, just loving what you're doing there. I mean, how did the Shia Voice first happen when you went as a contestant?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because you were reciting for a while. What made you decide to go in the Shia Voice?
Yeah, so I remember when Shia Voice first season started getting a bit of attention. There was a lot of ads going around. Initially, I wasn't actually going to join.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't actually going to join. But a few friends, you know, they called me, said there's a show, you know, you go on it, this and that. So then I was still, I'm not going to lie, I was really reluctant. But then, I don't know what happened, last minute I just gave in and I was like, you know what, okay, why not, let's just do it.
Any reason, like in terms of what motivated you to do it last minute?
The one thing that I guess I was like, okay, you know, I might go on it is because, you know how obviously you get the feedback from the judges. And obviously the judges are, like for example, in my category, it's Sayyid Misam and Mullah Nizar. And of course they're two renowned reciters with loads of experience, and for a reciter, especially like upcoming reciters, I'd say to a lot of them is that the feedback that you get is really important. That's the only way you can be able to grow. Even experienced reciters, till this day, I know a lot of people that still get feedback till this day on their recitations, on how to go about things, and that was one of the main reasons as to why I was like, yeah, you know what.
So part of it was actually to develop yourself.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
MashaAllah, which is what we were talking about earlier, which is wanting to be better and wanting to get... Okay, interesting. So you went for the first audition. What was that like?
First audition was good. I remember just last minute I was like, what do I read? Originally I was going to read English, and then after last minute I cracked and I was like, I'm just going to read.
What made you swap from English to Arabic? So
it's just I just felt, because the night before I was in Birmingham in a majlis, Imam Al Kazaz. Yeah, it was a 2-day majlis and I recited there. And then the next day I had the audition. So then last minute I was just thinking, what do I read? And then another one of my top latmiyas I love to listen to is Hajj Hayder al Kazaz.
Yeah.
I read Hajj Hayder al Kazaz in the majlis the day before.
It was beautiful.
And I was just like, you know what?
The days of
Imam Al Kazaz, it only makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and then the second audition as well. Yeah. Practically, I've actually got that here. That one practically went viral. Let's have a quick listen.
بعد أبي يسعد للسماء يعرج للرحمن في دمائي يعرج.
MashaAllah. What a recite. So for those of you that don't know, I have a very musical ear. I've got tone deaf voice. It sounds like a cat is dying if I try to recite. It doesn't stop me at home, by the way. I go for it. But you know, the notes that you're hitting there are flawless, mullah, mashallah.
No, alhamdulillah.
A fantastic job, and I think obviously that you got that feedback from the judges as well.
Yeah.
So you went for the first round, you went for the second round. I think then there was semi-finals.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a semi-final.
It was semi-final,
yeah.
and then you were one of the final 3 in the finals.
Yeah.
So how did you feel going into the final?
Yeah. So for those that might not know, the semi-finals obviously all of it is pre-recorded until the final.
Right.
So there was that massive gap where you're just waiting for you to get your options.
Nerves growing.
Right. Obviously, you're getting feedback from everyone else that's watched.
Can I tell you, as an average Joe, for one of the people that was in the audience for a lot of I was there actually I didn't mean to time it like that, but I was there for your audition one, and also
I remember, yeah, because you were close to the front.
I was.
Yeah.
And mashallah, I mean, the general consensus was that you were going to absolutely smash it in the final and be given the title of the Shia Voice.
Yeah.
But the final didn't go to plan.
It didn't, no.
What made you choose those Latmiyat?
So I, for those that might not know, obviously you get your options chosen for you, and then you basically pick one. Now, me with my options, when I got them, I wasn't really happy with them.
Okay.
At the time, I wasn't really happy with them because I didn't feel like I could do much justice with them. But yeah, so
Shia Voice drama.
no, not drama. It's just that I just me myself with I just knew what my voice suited and what it didn't suit.
Okay.
So a lot of the options were not really things that suited my voice, but I was just like, you know, I'm gonna give it a go anyway.
Right.
So obviously, what happened. I tried to recite what I recited that day, and obviously it didn't go to how we really wanted it.
Yeah.
But it was a...
How did you feel after the final? Honestly.
I felt a bit... I don't know, I had a mix of emotions, if I'm being honest. I was a bit upset. I also felt a bit like disappointed within myself. I felt, you know, you always have that feeling of you could have done better.
Yeah.
So I had that feeling as well, but then I was like, you know what? It's all. At the end of the day, it's not for number one and for winning.
No, it's not.
For me, it was more about the experience.
You're still my winner, Mullah.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah, so for me, it was more about the experience and kind of what you were gonna gain out of it.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, like,
I mean, all of this is the khidmah as well, which is a beautiful.
That's
part
the
of
biggest
it, right?
aim out of all of it. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And I mean, you must have left an impression because the next year you were co-hosting.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was really interesting because I've never done anything like that in my life. Never done any co-hosting. I've hosted a few Instagram lives, but that's not the same thing.
We had a call the night before.
Yeah,
Do you remember? You gave me a call.
Yeah. I gave Hajj Hayder a call and I was like, look, bro, I need your help.
Hajj, I've never hosted it.
I've never hosted a day in my life.
I'm not feeling this. What do I do? But mashallah, you've done a fantastic job.
Alhamdulillah.
I mean, my advice to you, if you remember, I don't know if you remember or if you took
I remember you said,
just ignored me.
I think it was be yourself.
Yeah. And my point to you was that no one has better experience at being yourself than yourself. So that's your best role.
Yeah.
And you were yourself and you've done a great job.
Yeah, no, alhamdulillah, we tried. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, now you tried and you succeeded. Okay, so away from, you know, you've got the Shia Voice, you've got the recitation, you've got uni. What's next for Mullah Rashid Haider?
I think I definitely want to work on a lot more tracks.
Okay.
I need to get a lot more things out there. I've got one track that I've done by myself. Then I've got two where I've worked with other people. I think definitely I want to work on more things myself. At the same time, I think just gain a lot more experience. Because remember, for those people that might not know, like, this year was my first year that I've done 10 nights.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. A lot of people, like, when I
mean, you're still. This is the thing, because although you've been reciting for so long,
yeah.
I mean, you're still very young.
Yeah, and reciting to this level where it is at now, has only started recently.
MashaAllah. Inshallah, long may it continue.
Inshallah. So yeah, I think maybe getting a few more tracks out there, a lot more experience. I'm just trying to grow as a person, really.
Alhamdulillah.
And kind of try find myself in that field, I guess.
Yeah, God bless you. Okay, so that's recitation. You've also got uni and you're working. I mean, what type of goals do you have for the future?
So I'm someone that likes cars.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get straight into it.
Awesome.
I like cars. I like cars.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm getting to it.
Goals for the future. I like cars.
No, I'm getting to it.
No, this is awesome. That's awesome. And look, this is, by the way, brothers and sisters, the whole point of the show is to get behind the wheel with someone and also behind what you think you know about them, right?
Yeah.
So now every time you see Mullah Rashid, you're going to think of cars, which is a new thing. There you go.
Yeah, so like, I'm currently studying business.
Right.
And obviously, like I told you, I like cars.
Yeah.
So future-wise, I want to obviously try combine the two.
Nice.
Try to do something in that. But always, I've always said that regardless of whatever I do, I still want to obviously keep that reciting there.
Amazing.
I always want to keep serving Imam Hussein, keep doing khidmah.
Yeah.
And yeah, inshallah, you know, wherever it takes me, Yeah, I'm here for the journey.
Allah wafqak, Habibi Mullah. Mullah, we are literally round the corner.
Yes,
From
we
the
are.
Imam Hussein TV studios. That was a pretty long drive, but you live in East London. So for the brothers and sisters, we've edited out the other 7 hours that it took to get to Imam Hussein TV. But alhamdulillah, we're nearly here. We're going to go and record a track.
Yeah.
And start doing that. I also have a round of quick fire questions to shoot at you.
Yeah.
Which I think you're going to enjoy, inshallah. But I just want to take this moment, Mullah, just to give you a massive thank you. It's been an honor.
Nah, the honor's
to have
mine.
you with us
Thank you.
in the behind the wheel car.
Yeah, no, the honor's mine.
Really enjoyed it.
No, it's likewise, man.
And inshallah, we'll definitely see you soon as well.
Inshallah, definitely.
Right, Mullah. So we are here, brothers and sisters, at the one and only 333 Imam Hussein. If only it was 20 numbers less. Imagine the studio number was 313. That would be amazing.
That's what I was always thinking.
I'm going to call it 313. Yeah. We're here at the 313 studios to serve Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to serve Imam Mahdi Abdullah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif. Mullah Rashid, it's been an absolute honor. Thank you very much, my dear brother.
Thank you so much.
And let's go in, inshallah.
Yeah,
We'll start
inshallah.
recording and then we'll run through those questions as well.
Yeah.
Can we go?
Let's do this.
Ya Ali.
Ya Ali.
Mullah,
Yep.
Habibi, we're at the studio.
Habibi.
I have delivered you to the wonderful studio of Imam Hussein TV. We're going to go in and record, inshallah, a track.
Yeah.
And before we do, we want to have a little chat and run some quick fire questions by you, inshallah.
Yes, definitely.
So please, Mullah, after you, Habibi.
No, Habibi, please.
Never. Never, Mullah.
Please,
After
please.
you, Ya Allah.
La, Ya Allah.
Take care. Mullah Rashid, Habibi, thank you, sir, first of all. Thank you
Habibi.
so much for your time today.
Habibi.
It's genuinely been an absolute honor. I'm going to ask you a favor.
Yep.
If I could ask you to take the headphones off. It's
No
customary,
worries.
as the brothers and sisters at home know,
Yeah.
that every single guest that we have, we run through the quick fire questions. There are 10 of them. It's very quick. The idea is just anything, or the first thing, not anything. The first thing that comes to your mind, you go for it, and it gives us another little bit of insight into you.
Let's do it.
You okay to go for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bismillah.
Let's do it. Let's
okay.
do it.
So, question number one. Your favorite crowd to recite to, is it Iraqis, Pakistanis, or Khajas?
Iraqis.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
straight
interesting.
in, straight
Fried chicken or grilled chicken?
Fried.
Fried, okay. Favorite surah of the Quran?
Oh, Noor.
Surah An-Nur.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have time to ask why.
Yeah.
Quick fire. East London or Northwest London? Be careful.
Listen, I've grown up there, man.
East London?
Has to be East.
East London,
Has to
okay. What makes you feel nervous?
First thing, probably not preparing well enough.
For a majlis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, was that like a general one?
It could be anything, but it's the first thing. So,
Yeah,
there you go. Muharram in Canada or Muharram in London? Apologies to all
Sorry,
the brothers
Canadians,
in Canada.
man. I'm going to
Right,
say
listen.
London.
That's it. Here we go. Okay, if you could choose to have either super strength or invisibility as a superpower,
Yeah.
which one would you choose?
Invisibility.
Okay. You're very sure about that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. What's the title of the last book that you read, Mullah?
Nahj al-Balagha.
MashaAllah. The best advice you've ever received?
The best advice that I've ever received is probably...
Quick fire, Mullah.
Yeah,
Quick
well,
fire,
this is not quick fire at all.
Just be yourself when you're hosting.
Yeah.
Really good advice. That was for me, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what
There
I
you
mean.
go.
That's
Okay, and
crazy.
last one, the Shia Voice.
Yeah.
Did you prefer being a contestant or being a presenter?
Definitely presenter.
Presenter,
Yeah,
yeah?
100%.
Mullah, thank you so much.
Habibi.
Give us a hug. God bless you. Habibi, bro. Really enjoyed our time for you. Inshallah, we'll see you soon.
Wallah, likewise. Take care, bro.
Take care.
Habibi.